Hey guys, it's Lana here and today I am live. I don't know how many of you guys are watching live right now or if you're watching it later, so I figure I'm just going to do my usual intro. My name is Lana, for you guys that don't know, and welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. So today I am doing my curly hair Q&A. I'm so happy to finally be making this video because I'm sure I've been saying I'm going to make this video for a really long time and I have not done a Q&A in literally forever. Hey, hello! Thank you guys so much for tuning in right away. I really didn't know what was going to be the best time for you guys. It's 5 o'clock right now. I'm actually a bit late. I said it was going to be 5 o'clock on the dot, but I had a little bit of teething issues. I don't know how to do lives, so this is really new for me. So hello. Oh, thank you so much, Alexandra. So I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into the Q&A because I know you guys have got lots of questions. Some of you guys actually left me some questions on my YouTube page on the community tab. And I'm actually quite lucky to have a community tab because not everybody has one, but it just means that I get to talk to you guys in a little bit more of a friendly, a little bit more of a personal way through YouTube, because otherwise you would have to use Instagram or Twitter and stuff, and I know some of you guys don't actually have that. So this community tab is actually really, really cool on my channel. So I'm just going to jump into the first question, which is from, I'm really sorry if I say your name wrong because I'm actually not familiar with this name. It's Fathia Mani. So thank you for the question. And they say, how often should hair be trimmed? How often do you trim yours? So I think that we all know this common myth about trimming your hair every 6 weeks. I've heard that so many times. People have told me that since I'm a child. But really, I mean, who's got time to be going to the hairdressers every 6 weeks? And also, it's not necessary. So I think when people are talking about 6 weeks, they mean, if you've got split ends or if your hair is a bit damaged, then you're probably going to need to get it trimmed. And if you're colouring your hair really often, or if you're just using a lot of heat on it really often, then you're going to need to trim it more to get rid of all those damaged ends. But if you take really, really good care of your hair and you've got no split ends and you deep condition weekly, then just trim your hair when you see that it's a little bit unhealthy towards the end. There's no kind of rule really to when you can trim your hair. You just need to look at your own hair and gauge it from looking at your own hair. Is it still healthy? Does it need to go or can it stay? If it can stay, then leave it. So the next question is how to brush curly hair. So I actually have an entire video dedicated to detangling curly hair, so this was actually a really good question. I will try to leave that when I go back and edit this video afterwards because I can't do it right now, but I will leave it in the description link, and that's where you will see my video for detangling curly hair. But for right now, I want to just say that the best way to do that is to brush from the bottom and then work your way up, because if you try to brush from the top down, you're gonna rip your hair out. My mum used to do that to me. She used to spend hours, I'm not even kidding, my mum would spend hours, literal hours, detangling my hair. That's what Sundays were for. Sundays were for detangling my hair because she used to brush from the top down and she didn't know about this whole brushing from the bottom up. And that makes it so much easier and you lose no hair. Well, you lose a little bit of hair because everybody loses about 100 hairs a day, but if you do it this way, you lose less. Where have you guys' comments gone? They keep disappearing and coming back again. So I'm going to try to answer some of your questions that you're asking right now as well. So Pregala, thank you for your question. She says, how often do I wash my hair? I don't know where the question's gone. It's disappeared again, but I think that's what it said. So I wash my hair usually around once a week to 2 times a week. So it varies and it depends, if I'm going to the gym, has my hair got a bit sweaty, have I done a style where I've had to brush all of my hair out and then I want to get my curls back. So it always varies, but I try to get moisture into my hair at least once or twice a week. So I know that I have a few more questions on here, what's my wash routine? So usually about once or twice a week. So let's have a look at here. How often should you do a protein treatment? So here's the thing with protein. Protein can be really good for your hair, but your hair can also get overloaded with protein. And when that happens, it can go a little bit brittle. So you really don't want to be doing that too often. And you don't want to be leaving your protein treatments on for too long. So I'm not sure exactly what kind of protein treatments that you are talking about there. But say if you wanted to do like maybe an egg mask or something like that, then you could probably do that like once a week for about an hour, and that would be fine. So I've got a question from Tammy Dowell, thank you, and it says, if you work out a lot, should you wash your hair? So again, I think that's definitely down to personal preference, and it depends on how you styled your hair when you did the workout. Like for me, when I'm working out, sometimes I just throw my hair into a bun, sometimes I've got like braids, like kind of cornrows. So I feel like my hair can get less dirty if it's in a cornrow, and then maybe I feel like I could maybe go to the gym like 2 days in a row, and then on the third day I feel like I definitely need to wash my hair. But it's completely different to everyone, and it's like personal preference. But you do need to be wary of, you know, if there is sweat on your scalp, then that can build up, and what you really don't want is kind of like a layer of like gunk and dead skin cells and sweat sitting on your scalp, because that can kind of damage the hair follicles at the top of your head, and it can actually make it harder for your hair to grow. So if you're going to do that, you're going to want to make sure that you are cleansing your scalp, getting rid of all of that stuff, just to make way for your hair to grow. So let's have a look. I think I need to click right there. So we've got, what's your favorite hair conditioner? And that comes from Icky Dicky, thank you. So I'm really sorry, my niece is around, my sister's making her some dinner and she's crying. I really hope that's not too annoying for you guys. So my favorite hair conditioner, oh, I've got so many. At the moment I'm using one from, what is it called? It begins with a B. Biolage. I don't know how to say it. It's like Biolage. I think it's a French name, so it's called like Biolage, and I've been using that a lot lately, like in the shower, because it's a deep conditioning treatment, but you only need to leave it on for 5 minutes. So I've been on the go a lot lately, so that 5 minutes deep conditioner is actually been really, really good for me lately. So I will also link that down below and you guys can check it out. It was sent to me and I don't actually know how much it was, so I'm really sorry about that. And I haven't spoken about that product before, but if you guys would like me to talk about it, then I can do that, because I'm actually really, really loving it. Oh. So let's see. Emma's Life says, if a conditioner with sulfates help you better detangle your hair, should you use it instead of a sulfate-free one? So I wouldn't actually be detangling my hair with a shampoo on my hair. So what I would usually do is I would shampoo my hair, be it a sulfate shampoo or a sulfate-free shampoo, and then I would rinse that out, and then I would put on a conditioner, and then I would detangle with the conditioner is on, not with the shampoo, because shampoos traditionally they are drying, and I think even if you've got a sulfate free one, they are not going to give you that kind of slickness that you really want when you are detangling. So that's really cool that you found a one that's got sulfates in it that helps you detangle, because I always find that shampoos with sulfates in can actually make my hair feel really dry and like really hard to brush through. So if that is helping you, if your hair feels, you know, if your hair feels like it's easier to comb through, then that's great. Because that's the main thing. If something is giving you slip and it makes it easier if something is giving you a lot of slip and it is making it easier to detangle, then go ahead and do that. But yeah, it would be a conditioner if I were going to do it. Let's see. Margarita Ramirez says, do you air dry or blow dry your hair? And by the way, you're very pretty. Thank you so much. You guys literally don't even know how like your comments make me feel. It's like so weird. But so I usually air dry my hair. I very, very rarely blow dry my hair, and that's just because I think my curls tend to go a bit frizzier when I blow dry, and also I feel like it's a lot of electricity as well, and I don't really like it that much. So, you know, if I'm gonna like diffuse my hair, it can take like, you know, like half an hour or something like that. I mean, I haven't done it in a really long time. I don't know if that's true. It might be a lot quicker than that. It just feels like a long time. But yeah, I don't really like using that much electricity, and I just don't really like the results. So I air dry. Let's get some more questions. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Zoe. So my favorite curl cream at the moment is the Cantu, because if you guys saw my $20 hair care routine, I used the Cantu curl cream activator, moisturizing curl activator, I think that's what it's called, and it worked amazingly. It's actually what I've got in today. Have I? Yeah, I have. Have I? I know I'm using a Carrot Care leave-in, and I think I've got the Cantu Curl Activator cream as well, and it works really, really well. It leaves your hair moisturized. I used the leave-in just because I felt my hair felt a little bit dry, but I could have totally just used the Cantu, and I mean, watch that video. I loved the results so much. I don't know why these questions keep like disappearing again, but they do. So Sophia Shorkey asks, what should people do with damaged frizzy and poofy hair? So, I mean, I have got some damage towards the ends, which I'm really sad about. And if you guys have been with me for a long time, you know that that's because I had highlights in my hair, and for a while I was like, it's fine, they didn't damage my hair. But as they get towards the ends, and as they get really old, because I guess this hair right here is kind of like three years old now down here, and you know, it's the bleach definitely took its toll on it. It's gone a bit frizzy, and it's a bit harder to define a lot of the time. I mean, this, I'm actually surprised it's actually pretty defined, but trust me when I say this is damaged and I need to get rid of it. My friend James, he is a hairdresser, and you know, he was kind of telling me, you know, you need to get rid of it. So that would be my advice for you if your hair is frizzy, dry, damaged. I mean, if it's towards the ends, you can get rid of it. If your whole hair is damaged, then you might want to do what I did in the beginning, and that was to just kind of transition. And you hear a lot about transitioning, and that is kind of just keeping the old hair while your new hair grows, and it might look a little bit strange for a while if you can't get the same textures. But as soon as your hair is a length that you feel comfortable with, then you can go ahead and you can chop that damage off. And if you just don't want to damage at all, but you don't want to have fried, frizzy, like you don't want to have poofy hair, then maybe you could try a braid out, a twist out, experiment with some new products, like some heavier products, like, because I know my sister, she used to use the same products that I used and they didn't work for her, and she just felt like she had frizzy poofy hair and that there was nothing she could do with it. And I said to her, you know, you need to use a heavier product, like a gel, instead of like a lotion like what I use. So now that she's found some products that work for her, then her hair it's not frizzy anymore, you know, it's like, it's actually defined. So she is using the Curls Unleashed jelly. It's like it's like some kind of Curls Unleashed jelly, and I really hope that that helps you. Please do leave another comment if that needs clearing up at all, because I know I'm kind of rambling. This is like really weird for me to be doing this live, because usually I can like kind of plan what my answer is going to be, but I have a tendency to ramble, so I'm sorry about that. Do I have any tips for hard water? It makes my hair feel like straw and I hate it. I don't think that I've ever had an issue with hard water. I know that there are some places in the UK that have hard water or soft water, but I don't feel like I've ever noticed a difference. And I wonder if maybe something like maybe filtering the water or something like that might help you. I mean, if it's causing you like a real serious issue, then, you know, yeah, maybe you could filter it. I'm really sorry I can't give a better answer than that. It's just I've never really had to deal with hard water, I don't think. So next question is from Angeli Jones. Thank you for your question. She says, how do you trim your hair at home? So I actually have another video on that as well. So I used to literally just like hold my hair up and just trim it like this. I would just do little bits here and there. And then I found this new method, which I actually really liked. And I'm going to do that again next time that I cut my hair. So I'm going to do that soon. I have a video for it, and basically you want to put all of your hair on top of your head. Like, don't just do it just from this video, because I'm going to just like really quickly run through it. You want to watch the whole video that I will link down below, but you want to put all of your hair on top of your head like this, and then like brush it out until it's really, really straight, and then you want to cut it in a straight line, and then that is going to give you kind of layers. Because of the way that you pushed it forward, it's going to give you layers for your curly hair. So that's what I do, and I'm gonna get some new hairdressing scissors so that I can do it properly, because last time I just did it with like some craft scissors, and to be fair, they were the sharpest scissors in my house, but you should use hairdressing scissors. Let's have a look. I'm really sorry if I don't say your name correctly. It's Giselle or Giselle or Yosel. I'm really, really sorry, but they say, what are some of my favourite curly hair brands? So we've got Cantu, Cantu are doing big things. They are making, you know, the paraben free, the sulfate free products at like the lowest prices that I've seen for that kind of thing. So, you know, you can get a whole range and they're all under £10. It's like a really, really good range, and the products work really, really well. So I'm super impressed with Cantu, and they seem to be like really taking care of their customers, and they're doing like a lot of like things where they get involved with the customers. I know they just recently did a few events in some super drugs where they were, you know, getting involved, giving away goodie bags and stuff like that. So I just think like brands like that who do fun stuff for their customers are really, really cool. So I really like them. On the higher end, I love Bumble and Bumble's curl range, and to be honest, I was waiting for Bumble and Bumble to come out with a curl range for the longest time because I knew it was going to be good. Like, I know that people love their other products and they're like really high quality, and when they came out with a curl line finally, I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to try it. So, you know, I did, and it was amazing, and I'm almost out of the bottles that I've got at the moment, so I'm gonna have to get my hands on some new bottles, but they are like, you know, it's like £25 for a little bottle like this, so it's a little bit on the higher range. I love Trepadora, but again, that's on the higher range, higher end of the scale. Care towards the lower end of the scale, super high quality, huge range for absolutely anything that you could ever want. They've probably got it. If you have a look at their website, or if you have a look on Look Fantastic and search Care and Look Fantastic, that's where you can get their products. Literally so many different kinds of products, and they're all pretty much under £10, I think. So they're really, really cool. I hope that answers your question. Thank you. So we oh, Joselle, I'm sorry. So let's see. So Popstar Ash 1234 says, what do you do if the underlayer of your hair is more rough or textured and less defined than the top layer? So I actually have that. So my curls, you know, around about my ears, they have a different kind of curl pattern and a different texture to the rest of my head. And all I can really say to that is that you just kind of have to work it, rock it, because I think it's actually quite rare that somebody has the exact same curl pattern all over their head. It's, you know, I think you see a lot of it on Instagram and places like that, but it's really not that common. It's actually more common to have mixed textures on your head, so you just kind of have to learn to deal with it. And I guess you could maybe use a different styling product on different sections of your hair if you wanted to. I personally can't really be bothered doing that. I would rather just use one product all over, and some parts of my hair are going to look more defined, some parts of my hair are going to look a little bit frizzier, but I'm fine with it. I just, you know, that's just the way I was made, and it's just the way you were made, and I'm sure it looks absolutely fine, so I really wouldn't worry about it too much. So we have another question from Denisha Davies. They say, how do you get curls to curl more if they are loose? So I've actually been doing this lately, and I was really surprised because this was kind of like a side effect of something else that I was doing. I wasn't even expecting this result. But what I do is I wait until my hair is about 70 to 80% dry. Just because my routine has been really out of whack lately, so I haven't been washing my hair until like quite late in the afternoon. Usually I would do it first thing in the morning, but I haven't been washing my hair till about maybe 3, 4 in the afternoon. And then by that time, there is not enough time for my hair to dry before I go to bed. So I've had to put it into a bonnet when it's still a little bit wet. And that's just to make sure that, like, I try to push it all forward. I don't tie it up or anything, I just push it forward and then put the bonnet on so that it's all kind of sitting there in a safe little bubble like this, so it can dry and it's not going to get kinks in it or anything. And also it's not going to make my pillow wet. So that was the main thing I wanted. I didn't want to get my pillow wet and I didn't want to mess my hair up. But what I found, that when I took my hair out in the morning and it was dry, I found that because it's kind of been like squashed down like this, it's been like scrunched and it's got really, really defined and like really springy curls, and I was just like, whoa. And it looked like I'd had a haircut because my hair was like springing up, and I hadn't had a haircut, and I was like, what is this? Like, where's my hair length going? But I actually liked it because it gave me a lot of volume, and the curls were a lot springier. They were a lot more defined, and they were curling up like this rather than like waving, because my hair does wave quite a lot. Like, as you can see, kind of waves. But yeah, so that's a really good trick, and you can actually get one of those bonnets for like £2 or something like that. Oh, I'm really sorry, I've got a cold. So you can actually get one of those bonnets for like £2 or something like that on Amazon or on eBay. And yeah, that's just a really, really good trick. I mean, if you could like come home from school and wash your hair when you came home from school, and then your hair would probably be about the same amount dry as what I do it as. And yeah, that would probably work really, really well for that. So that's a good question, because that made me think about something that I hadn't even quite realised. So thank you. So don't worry, be happy. I love that message. They say, I have split ends and I'm trying to grow my hair. Should I trim them? I definitely think that it's a lot easier to grow your hair if you've got healthy ends, because what I found for the longest time is that I was just trying to grow my hair. I was trying to grow my hair, and I was, I was massaging my scalp, and I was doing everything I could to try and get it to grow from here. I was like, I had like all these lotions and things that I would rub into my scalp, like this. I'm pretty sure my friend bought me like this magic potion thing, like, oh yeah, it's gonna make your hair grow. But it's all pointless if your hair is split at the ends, because it's just going to carry on splitting, then it's going to break off, and it's kind of too weak at that point to continue to exist. It just falls off. So it's going to be really hard to get it to grow. And you might see some growth. I mean, it really depends on the rate of growth from your scalp and the rate at which it's breaking off from the bottom. So what I saw is that my hair was actually breaking off from the bottom a lot quicker than it was growing. So it just got shorter and shorter and shorter. So yeah, I would say that you should cut them off, especially if you know that they're split as well. Because I personally, I don't like it when I know that my hair is split, because I don't know, it just makes me feel a little bit self-conscious, and I don't know, it's just healthier really for your hair to just have a healthy ends. I really hope that helps, and yeah, be happy too. That's such a lovely message. So we have a question from Zafralai. I'm really sorry if I said your name wrong too. So they say, can you mention some drugstore hair products? So what I would use, like what my sister's been using, is the Curls Unleashed jellies. They've been working really, really well for her. Cantu is in the drugstore as well, and I love Cantu. I have also been using, I mean, Bumble and Bobby, you can get it in the drugstore, but it's pretty expensive. And when I first started growing my hair, I was living with ORS. Like, you guys know ORS, right? I think it stands for Organic Root Stimulator. And I still use it from time to time, but I've kind of forgotten about it a little bit, I guess. But it was really, really good. It's what I used when I first was growing my hair, and they've got like a replenishing line. So like I used to use the replenishing shampoo and the replenishing conditioner, and they were really, really moisturizing, and they're pretty much like kick-started my hair growth, like my hair journey. Another one is Tresemme, and I know that it's not really sulfate free or anything like that, but they do have a naturals line, which I think might have a sulfate free shampoo in it. But their conditioner, like they've got one that is the luxurious moisture conditioner, and that one really, really helped me, and I used to use it as a leave-in conditioner and everything. Like back when I didn't know anything about hair, I used to use that as a leave-in conditioner. And what else do we have? Oh, Dark and Lovely. I met a girl at the photo shoot on Monday or Tuesday, and she had the nicest curls, like some of the nicest curls that I've seen in a really long time, and she was using Dark and Lovely. So you can find those in the drugstore as well. So I hope that helps. Also, is it really annoying that I'm not looking at the camera, because I'm like doing this live off of my phone, and like obviously the camera is really small and my face is right there, so this is like really weird for me. Usually when I'm filming on my camera, the lens is like this big, so I can like look right at it. So I'm really sorry. La 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 la. So we also have a question from Kira K, and she says, do you ever do hair masks? So I do hair masks, probably not as often as I should. I did mention that I've been doing this deep conditioning treatment, which is essentially a hair mask. And I see this hair mask sitting there in my drawer right there. It's like staring at me like, you haven't done me yet. But no, I probably will do a hair mask this week. And once I cut my hair, because I want to cut quite a lot off, I want to cut these highlights out finally. And when I do that, I'm really, really going to get into hair masks and deep conditioning. I'm going to make sure I do it every single week, because sometimes I miss a week. Ooh, yeah, I know. So yeah, I'm gonna get really into it, and I'll let you know which hair masks I'm using, but at the moment I'm using the like the Biolage or Biolage, however you say it. But thank you for your question. Maureen Kelly says, did you ever big chop? If so, what hairstyles did you wear when you couldn't fit it in a ponytail? So I did do like my version of a big chop. So like when I was a kid, I always had long hair. I've always had long hair my entire life. And then when I was straightening my hair a lot, that's when I kind of noticed that my hair had broken off so much, because I kind of looked at it and I thought, I didn't cut my hair. I didn't do this. And it was probably about this long when it was straight. So I used to tie it into a ponytail, and I just have like a little wispy ponytail at the back. And what I did, I actually transitioned for a while until my hair was maybe about this long, and then I cut off about this much, and then it was about this long when it was curly. So when I did that, I could fit it into a ponytail, I think. So I didn't ever have a point where I couldn't at least do that. I used to wear a lot of buns, and I would just kind of have like a little puff, and I used to do like this thing where I had like two braids going like this, like two inverted Dutch braids. I mean, I call them that because I feel like I wouldn't call them cornrows, I feel like, unless there was like more than two. And like, so I mean, you can call it a cornrow, but I used to like have them going like this, and then I would have my little puff like there. That was like a really I used to do that style all the time. So I hope that's helpful. I mean, if you didn't have enough hair to even put it into a ponytail, then I guess you could still do these little braids, or maybe you could get two little puffs like this, and you could go and watch my friend Leah, you know, Leah Lasagna, what is her YouTube? Leah, Love from Leah X is her YouTube, and she just recently did a big chop, and her hair is kind of like this long at the moment. So she's been doing some hairstyles, so you should go and check those out if your hair is currently not long enough to put into a ponytail. But thanks so much for your question. So Ray Kedra Odom, I hope I've said that correctly, says, how could you determine your curl patterns? So, I mean, in the good old days, you had wavy hair, you had curly hair, you had like afro hair, but obviously there are so many more hair textures than that. Somebody once upon a time came up with this scale, and they had like ones, twos, threes, fours. Some people find that really helpful, and if you go onto Google and you type in like curl pattern scale, then it will probably take you to that scale, and it will probably take you to the naturally curly page, because I know that they've got it on there. And basically the ones is like different variations of straight hair, the twos are different variations of wavy hair, threes are different versions of curly hair, and fours are different variations of coily hair. So you could have a look on there and see if that helps you. It's definitely kind of only for curl pattern though. Like, some people look at that and they take it and they think that it's going to tell them like density and thickness and coarseness and all of this stuff, but you can't really determine that from this scale. All this scale can tell you is, you know, if your hair goes like this, if you've got like S-shaped curls, then you're probably going to be like a 3A or a 3B. But if your hair is like really tight corkscrews, then you're going to be like a 4A maybe, or a 4B even. But it's not going to tell you about density or anything like that. Like, that's a completely different thing. But I will, I mean, if you guys just go onto Google and search for the curl scale thing, then that should tell you, and hopefully that gives you a good idea, because I know I mention it sometimes. I say, you know, this product's going to be good for a 3B, or this product's going to be good for a 4A. So if you get confused on that kind of thing, just check out that scale and hopefully it helps you out. Let's see. You guys are asking so many questions. Thank you guys so much. So let's see. So Talk About HXOXO says, Lana, my curls are so tangled. So what I would do, because I used to have this problem and it really helped when I was using oils. So as soon as I started using a leave-in oil, then I felt like my hair was less tangled, because obviously the oil gives your hair a little bit of lasting slip, and it just means that it's not going to get dry and tangled. So I used to find that I get tangles like at the back of my head. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would use an oil, and I felt like that kind of reduced the tangles. So I was using a Care Essential Oils but you can of course, you know, use coconut oil or argan oil or any one of these kinds of oils that is, you know, that's going to be good for curly hair. You use it also to lock in moisture, and it's just good to prevent your tangles like after you've finished washing. So that's what I would do. I'm really sorry, I'm trying to get to like as many questions as I can, but I didn't expect you guys to ask so many. I also want to get back to some of the ones that were asked earlier as well. So let's see. So Jasmine Michaels says, my hair hasn't grown past my neck length for 3 years. Any tips? So it could be maybe if you've got damaged ends. I mean, if you have, then my recommendation would be to cut those and then give your hair a better chance to grow. But of course, if you, because, you know, I don't know what kind of hair you've got or like the condition of your hair or anything like that, but if it's completely healthy, you know, if you've been treating it really well and it hasn't grown, then my friend was actually telling me about like this hair life cycle. And you know, this can affect anybody, and it doesn't matter what kind of hair you've got or anything like that, but because hair grows in like a 7 cycles, something like that, and it's like as soon as every hair gets to 7 years old, it like drops out, and then that's when a new hair starts to grow. And you know, it all of this affects, I need to do a different video on this because it's like a really long topic, but it can affect like how long your hair can grow before it drops out. So for me, I personally think that my hair can get to about waist length, and then I think that my hairs drop out when they get to about waist length. I need to look into this topic more because I'm not like fully clear on it. But it could be that, like it could be that your hair likes being at this length and, you know, it doesn't want to be longer than that. But if you really want to have longer hair, then definitely make sure that your ends are healthy and that you're deep conditioning every week, you're massaging your scalp and maybe taking some hair vitamins and stuff like that, and just see if that helps you out. So we've got Fifi Morgan. She says, tips please. Okay, so she says, did her big chop early in July, always deeps conditions with shea moisture, but has a lot of frizz and it won't last 3 days. So you mentioned that you're deep conditioning, that's good. But then what I want to know is, what products are you using? You know, when you're styling, do you use a styling product? Because, you know, my sister, like, I kept telling her so many times, like, you need to use a styling product, and she was like, I did a deep condition, and I'm like, that's not a styling product. Like, you need to use something that's going to stay in your hair after you finished washing. So it needs to be like a curl cream or, you know, a leave-in conditioner for one, but I usually use a leave-in conditioner and a styling product. And your styling product needs to be different depending on your hair type. If you've got a looser curl pattern, then maybe you can use a lotion, and if you've got a tighter curl pattern, then you're more likely to need a gel or something heavier. So I mean, go to the store, have a look at some videos. A really good tip is actually to find somebody on Instagram or somebody on YouTube who has got the exact same curl pattern as you or closer, or like as close as possible, and see what they're using. Because I know when I was starting out, I would look at people who had nowhere near the same curl pattern as me, and I would use the products that they were using. That doesn't work. You need to find something that works for your curl pattern, and hopefully that will reduce frizz. You also maybe need to look at how your hair is being left after you've showered. So maybe if you're deep conditioning and then you rinse in warm water, then that might actually cause your hair to frizz. So you're gonna need to rinse in cold water, and hopefully that will seal your hair cuticles so that they don't turn frizzy. I hope that helps. So let's have a look. Denisha Davies also says, have you ever tried wild growth oil? And if so, what was the experience? I have never even heard of that, but that's really interesting. I think I'm going to go and Google that right after this video and find out what that's all about, because it sounds really cool. It sounds like, you know, like raised in the wild or something like that. It sounds really cool. So what is your #1 hair product on a budget? Thank you, Marita R, for that question. So my favorite budget curly hair product has to be the Cantu Curl Activator. I mean, I mentioned it before and I am obsessed with it ever since I made that video. Like, I wasn't expecting it. I thought maybe it was gonna be dry, or maybe it just wasn't gonna have enough hold or something like that, but it is fantastic. And it's about £7, maybe even £7.99. You could probably even get it for £6. You might even be able to get it on 2 for £10 some places. But that's the Cantu Curl Activator, and it's amazing. You can get it in most drugstores these days. Amla oil, yes. Thank you, Zafra, for that question. Amla, I don't think I've used it by itself, but I use this hair mask, and some of the main ingredients are coconut oil, amla, just a whole bunch of really good things, and I know amla is one of the key ingredients in it. It's actually by Centropica. I leave it in all of my description boxes because I use it all the time, and I have a discount code for you guys. So yeah, I love amla in that product. I've never used it by itself though. It would probably be amazing. So I've got a question here from VCD Veth, and I think that's, or VCDVF. And they say, how long did you take to grow your hair long? So I actually have been posting a little bit about this lately because I've been having a lot of questions about it. So I went back and I found some of my old photos, and it said that it said, I mean, I could see from the photos, in 2012 my hair was about this long when it was curly, and then by 2013 it was about this long, maybe. So in 1 year I kind of grew my hair about this much, I think. Now that seems extreme. Well, that's what the photos said. I don't know. That seems like a lot of hair growth. Maybe it was because that was when I kind of kick-started myself into this curly hair journey. So I was doing everything. Like, I was doing everything under the sun to grow my hair, and that's what I did. So that was between 2012 and 2013. I grew it kind of about this much, and then by 2014 I had grown it a lot longer. I think it may have even been longer than it is right now, because right now I've been kind of wearing my hair a bit shorter. I've been cutting it a lot more regularly because I've had the highlights in. But before I had highlights, I was just letting it grow, letting it be free, letting it like grow for the gods, you know. But yeah, so that's how long it took to grow. So Marb Shoaib, I'm sorry if I said your name incorrectly. I'm really trying my hardest. But that's like the beautiful thing about this, I guess, is I get to meet so many people that that I've not met in person. So they say, can I change my products every time or just stick with one? Absolutely, change your products every time if that's what you want to do. I change my products every single time. You guys know I have a lot of curly hair products, and sometimes I just can't find the ones that I'm looking for, or sometimes I just shove them all back in the drawer or in the cupboard, and I can't even remember which one I used last time. But I know which ones are my favourites, and you know, I use those a bit more frequently than others. But yeah, 100% I change them up all the time, and there is actually like I was gonna say, there's actually proof or evidence, I don't know, I heard it one time, that apparently your hair can like get used to products, and it can kind of grow resistance to certain products if you use them every single time. So I kind of try to keep that in mind. I have no idea if it's true or not, but it's worked for me to keep changing them up, so that's what I do. So let's have a look. Marita, I'm not sure if you saw my answer before, but yeah, my favourite number one curly hair product on a budget is the Cantu Curl Activator. So Lovey and Rosie says, I've been cutting my hair myself for 2 years plus now because there aren't any hairdressers who know how to do curly hair in my area. Do you have any tips on how to find good hairdressers for curly hair? So I've been having the same problem lately because I live quite far away from central London, and it seems to me that all of the best curly hairdressers are in central London. So you know, it's kind of it's a long way for me, a long-ish way for me to go just for like, you know, like a 20-minute cut or something like that. And also I don't know if they're going to be any good. Like, I've researched them on Google, but you know, I haven't been able to see actually any testimonials or anything, so I don't know if they're going to be any good. So what I have found is, actually I don't mind cutting my hair myself, but I do want to go and get a professional cut. So I've been looking a lot on Instagram, just seeing, you know, typing tags in like curly hairdresser or curly hairstylist, or, you know, looking at those kind of tags and just seeing if I can find anyone who's got a portfolio on Instagram. Because when you can see their cuts and you can see their work actually in pictures or like in videos on Instagram, then I feel like a bit more confident walking into their salon and letting them like take a pair of scissors to my hair, because I've seen what they've done before. So that's what I've done lately. My friend James is a curly hairstylist, and I met him through curl formers at some events that we were doing for curl formers. He was styling my hair, so that's where I met him, and I'm gonna ask him to fit me in for booking. So that's actually a really good way, and just like kind of just networking and just seeing who in your area does curly hair, because it's really hard to find on Google and lots of people don't have websites. So yeah, Instagram. So Freelancer says, I use oils before shower, but still I shed a lot of hair during summers. Also, I'm in my early 20s and my hairs are turning grey. Any tips? So I think it's perfectly normal for your hair to be turning grey in your early 20s. As far as I know, there's not anything you can do to prevent that, apart from maybe just, you know, try to live like a stress-free life, drink green tea, chill out a little bit, because I think stress can cause grey hair. So try to avoid stress. Use oils before you shower, so I guess is that for kind of protecting against the shampoo. But what you can find, if you're using too many oils, then the oils can cause shedding, and that's to do with protein. So when I say, you know, if you overload your hair with protein, that can be quite bad. Yeah, it can cause shedding. So you only want to leave oils on for around about an hour maybe, or, you know, if you're going to do a deep conditioning or something, you want to leave that on for about an hour. And it's perfectly normal to lose hairs, you know, because I think everybody loses around about 100 hairs a day. So that's perfectly normal, and you're going to find that, especially when you're detangling, you're going to find that the hairs are coming away. And so if you're losing 100 hairs a day, maybe you only wash your hair once a week, that's 700 hairs that you're going to expect to see when you detangle your hair. So I personally would not be worried at all. I mean, if you're starting to find maybe bald patches on your scalp or something like that, then maybe that's something you might want to go and visit a doctor about. But if it's literally just, you know, just shedding, that's fine. And, you know, grey hair, it happens, that's life. As long as you're young on the inside, that's fine. So Deckett's 890 says, hey, when do my coloured ends, so hey, why do my coloured ends get dry when I diffuse? Please help, I always deep condition like crazy and use hot oils. So I think it's literally, colour damages hair. I mean, especially if it's got bleach on it. So it is going to get drier. I mean, I've experienced the same thing. It doesn't matter sometimes how many products you put onto damaged hair, you can still see that it's damaged. And that's just because, you know, there's not a mask for this kind of thing. And it's like I always say, you can't repair damaged hair once it's been damaged. So I've just kind of been living with my damaged ends. I mean, they're not too bad. They're still curling up right now. So, you know, I'm getting away with it a little bit, but they do need to go. So that's like what I'm gonna do next after this video. I'm gonna get rid of these at some point this month, I think. But I experienced the same thing, and sometimes you can find like a good product. Maybe try to not diffuse them, because I noticed that when I diffuse my hair, it can make my hair look drier and frizzier. If you can leave them to air dry, then that might improve the situation a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately, I would think that it's to do with the condition of the hair, really. If you can use an oil, or maybe try to find another oil that works, you know, it's always a lot of trial and error. And what I did the other day was I actually used like an edge control, because my ends were looking really, really frizzy. And they were kind of curly, but they were just so frizzy. So I actually took edge control and I kind of like just twisted it around the curl, and it made it look really, really defined and together. And, you know, maybe try that trick, because that really shocked me. It worked really, really well. Let's see. I'm sorry I just like punched the thing just then. I'm just trying to get like the thing to show up so that I can see the questions. So we have Popstar Ash 1234 says, what curl type do you have? 3B? I believe that I do have 3B, but I think I've also got parts of 3C as well. And I think some parts of my hair are 3A as well. And so you see, like, I mean, like this bit is like hardly curly. It's like wavy, so that's kind of like a 3A curl pattern. So it's perfectly normal to have like different curl patterns all over your hair. You know, don't even worry about it. Let's have a look. Zephyrli says, do you use the Eco Styler Gel? I want to, because I've heard so many people talking about it. So I will go to the shop and I'll try it out. Because I thought it was kind of just like for slicking your hair down. Maybe if you're going to do like a sleek bun or something like that. But I've seen people use it as like a curl definer as well. So I'm actually really excited to try that. Thank you for reminding me of it. The Silver Magnolia asks, how do you part your hair? Like, I like to part mine off center, but it sometimes ends up looking a bit severe, like I forced it. So I part my hair every day. I know some people kind of have like just like a set parting. Like my mum's like that. Like my mum has a parting and it hasn't changed in years. Like it's been trained that way. But it all depends on how my hair dried. I don't like really to part my hair when it's wet, because then I feel like you just don't get the volume. Like if I parted it like this while it was wet and then just let it dry, then it would be really flat up here. So I don't really like doing that. I like to just wait until it's dry and then I'll part it, and I like to choose the side that gives me the most volume. So that's how I do it. And with it looking severe, then I feel like maybe you could just try shifting a little bit, just seeing how you prefer it. And yeah, I mean, I don't mind my hair looking severe. Like I like to have a lot of volume and stuff like that. And this is kind of off center. It's not like a deep side part, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. Thanks, Valerie. Yeah, I grew it really long, really quickly, I think. But yeah, patience is key. So we've got another question from Sarah. She says, hi Lana, I have 3C hair, but I have a problem that the bottom part of my hair won't curl. Any suggestions? So definitely try out my little trick that I've been doing, where you kind of put it into a bonnet while it's still a little bit wet and just let it dry while it's in the bonnet. That really helps. It just kind of squishes all of my hair together and forces it to curl up. And if that doesn't work and you want all of your hair to be one curl pattern, then definitely try doing like a braid out or a twist out. I have a couple twist out videos. I really want to like do another twist out soon because I haven't done one in ages. And basically when you do that, you're kind of just wrapping your hair around and it makes all of your hair go into the same curl pattern. It makes it all look like really uniform, and I really love doing that. Yeah. So I did have a no heat hair journey. I kind of, when I very first started, like I kind of dipped my toe into the water, I think, a little bit. So I didn't kind of like straight away be like, right, I'm chopping my hair off and I'm not going to use heat. And I'm like, you know, I was kind of like, I'm chopping my hair off and, you know, I may or may not use heat. But then it came to a point because I was really scared of having my hair curly. I was really scared of just like seeing all my friends and everything and just kind of walking in and being like with curly hair, and like maybe they wouldn't recognize me. I didn't want them all to be like touching my hair and being like, oh wow, like I didn't even know you had curly hair, you know. I didn't want to have to go through all that. So it put me off for a while. But then I got over it and I was just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna have my hair curly. And then when I did, I realized that I preferred it. I preferred like you know, not having to worry about the rain wrecking my hair, or you know, I could you know, I could work out and not have to worry about my hair going like getting sweaty and going a little bit kinky at the top. And you know, I just preferred it. It was like a lot more freedom. So after that I kind of just didn't straighten my hair for maybe like a year and a half. And it wasn't because I was like, no, I'm not straightening my hair ever again. It was kind of just I just really liked having my hair curly, so I just didn't even think about straightening it. So yeah, I went a really long time. When at that point when I grew my hair from about here to the like when that first run of me like straightening my hair, and it grew so quickly, so it grew so long so quickly. Yeah, I wasn't using any hair at that point. I wasn't using any heat at that point. So Kit Kat says, I part my hair like I part my, I don't get this. Like I part my women. Oh no. So Kira K says, I have straight hair, but I still watch your videos, lol. You have such a lots of helpful stuff. Thank you, because I was really wondering, and I was like going to do a poll and see, you know, like who's watching my videos. Does everybody have curly hair? Should I make some videos about straight hair? But I think most of you guys watching have got curly hair, so if I do like a straight hair video, then I don't know if like many people will like it or not. But like so many of these tips are like really transferable. So many of like my hair growth tips and everything, it really doesn't matter if you've got curly hair or not. Like they work for everybody. Angeli Polonia says, come to Miami. Love your content and great inspiration. Thank you so much. So as you guys know, I went to like all of the west coast of America. And I would love to go to like the East Coast. Like I really want to go to New York, and I definitely really want to go to Florida, and I'd go to Miami. So maybe that will happen next year. I want to stay home for like the end of this year though. Like we've got like Halloween, Christmas. Wow, my nose, like my sinuses, like I thought I was healthy, but I'm not. But yeah, definitely I want to go to Miami. Yes, Panish, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Texas sends you love. Thank you so much. I'm sending my love right back at you. So Dawn IE says, what's the hair color and brand you use to darken it? Thanks. So I used, I believe that it was Garnier, and I can't remember the exact shade, but it was like a reddish tone, like it was like a mahogany, because I was really worried about it going like greenish. So I avoided the like more ashy tones. I wanted something that was redder. So if I can find it or if I can remember it, then I'll try to link it down below. But you can actually watch the video of me doing that, and I will say what the brand and colour is in that video. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to find it now. But it did wash out. I mean, it washed out after a couple of months, and my hair went straight back to being light again. Like, it wasn't, like, extremely permanent. So, Marieki Rimmers, I hope I've said your name correctly. It's a really nice name. Says, my hair gets really greasy since about 1 year now, which it never used to do. Also, it feels sticky and kind of wet even when it's dry. I've been using Shea Moisture products, so it can't be silicones. It could just be that those products are too heavy for your hair. Because you noticed I haven't really mentioned Shea Moisture. I went through a phase of using Shea Moisture, but I don't really use it that much anymore because I don't know what it is. The really, really popular ones, I feel like a lot of them are too heavy for my hair, and I have that exact same problem. So if you don't like that feeling on your hair, then you should probably try to use like a lighter product, maybe like a lotion, like a kind of like a milky lotion or something like that, instead of a thick heavy product, because that sounds exactly like what you're kind of like going through right now. And I'm the same. I don't really like my hair to feel like all clumped together, and like I know exactly what you mean. So I use the lighter products. So this Cantu Curl Activator that I'm using right now is the one that I use, and I really don't use very much. I kind of like put like a little bit like this, and I just go like this, and that does the whole section. So it could be that too, like maybe you're just using too much of the product. So I really hope that that helps. So we've got Yesba asks, is it bad if you detangle your hair if it's wet? So no. I always detangle my hair when it's wet, and that's because that's when I'm using my conditioner, and conditioners are pretty much designed to give your hair a lot of slip. They make it really easy for a comb to glide through your hair, and you know you can't do that if your hair's dry. So I always detangle my hair when it's wet, but only when it's got conditioner on it. If my hair is you know, if my hair is wet with no conditioner, then it's really hard to detangle, and you can feel that, and you can feel like it ripping through it. So I don't like doing that. You got to use conditioner, and it should feel easy. Like if you've got conditioner on and it still feels tough, then scrap that conditioner, find a new one, and you know, find one that's going to make it really easy for you to detangle your hair. So in all of my hair care routines, I talk to you guys about which conditioners I'm using, so you guys can check those out and just see which ones I use to detangle my hair. Ravi Fuad says, did you see the movie Moana? Yes, I did. I loved it. And also I'm thinking of being Moana for Halloween this year, so I love that movie. So Zephyr says, you're welcome, Lana. You should really try the blue eco gel or the pink one or the coconut oil one. So I didn't even realize they had that many, but yeah, I'll definitely try those. Let's see, we've got a question from Anjali B, who says, hi Lana, hi. She says, how do you keep your ends so full of moisture? Mine splits ends, get dry, and I don't know how to handle it. So I think it definitely depends on which products I'm using. So right now I'm using the Keracare leave-in conditioner. That one works really, really well for me. and I have to use the right products, because I've definitely noticed if I'm using something, maybe something that I haven't tried before or something that I know I don't like, then my ends can end up looking really dry, especially these bits here with the bleach on them. So I have to be really careful about which products I use. So I'm using the I'm using the Care Leave-In Conditioner and the Cantu Curl Activator. So you guys, I'm going to go through some of these questions that were left earlier, because I know that everybody couldn't tune in live, and some people did leave me some questions like in advance. So Cassandra Cano asks how to thicken hair. So as far as I know, you can thicken hair by the nutrients that you're taking into your body. So maybe that is, you might want to try some biotin or some folic acid. When I was first growing my hair, I used to take folic acid pills. Those are traditionally like for pregnant women, and that just gives you all of the nutrients that the baby needs, but it's also really good for your scalp and for your hair growth. So that is a way that you can thicken your hair. And also, I mean, if you have a look at Alexandra Girly Talks video, she mentioned that after she gave birth, she had like this like postnatal hair loss, which is apparently really common. So I'm pretty sure that right now she is trying some ways to thicken her hair and like get it to grow back and grow thick. She actually had like some bald patches on her hair because of that condition, so definitely check that out. But what I would say is that biotin and folic acid really help to thicken your hair, and also other hair vitamins, because the hair vitamins contain those ingredients. Felicia Saeed says, is it necessary to wash even bi-weekly, or can we do it monthly? So I think when you say bi-weekly, is that like an English fortnight? If you guys don't know, a fortnight is 2 weeks. So you absolutely don't have to stick to any kind of schedule. My nose, my throat is killing me. You don't have to stick to any kind of schedule whatsoever. It's completely up to you. You can wash your hair whenever you like, whatever works for you. You see some people are wearing a weave, and you know, they might not get to do a full wash on their hair for a month, 5 weeks, something like that. So it's whatever works for you. You don't need to stick to any convention. We live in a world where kind of European standards are the ones that most people follow. So I grew up thinking that I had to wash my hair every day or every other day, because that's what all of my friends did. All of my friends who were Caucasian and had white hair, that's what they would do. And I would feel a little bit ashamed and be like, I haven't washed my hair in like 2 weeks. But that's absolutely fine. You usually find that the thicker, the coarser your hair type, and maybe the tighter your curl pattern is, the less often that you have to wash your hair. So if you've got just wavy hair, then you might want to wash your hair, you know, at least once a week. If you've got really, really tight curls, then you're going to want to wash it 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It's fine, whatever works for you. And that's just because if you're looking at like greasy hair or something like that, the grease comes from your scalp and it travels down the hair shaft, so it can travel down the straight hair really easily, so it needs washing more easily. But that grease is actually carrying a lot of essential nutrients, so you do want it to touch your hair. And if you've got really tight curl pattern, it finds it harder to make its way down the hair shaft. So if you're just going to wash your hair all the time, those oils are not going to get to your hair, and your hair is probably going to start looking dry. So that's just like a little bit of like the background behind it. But all I'm saying is that it's completely down to you and to your curl pattern. Wash your hair whenever you want to, whenever you find that you need to. There's no convention for it whatsoever. So Alyssa Curls says, what are your opinions on colouring curly hair? I think anybody can do whatever they like with their curly hair. You know, I don't want to like stand here and say, you know, I make videos about curly hair, so everybody should follow these rules. I'm just here to kind of like give you guidelines, because I grew my hair like in a fast amount of time, and I know that people are interested in hearing about that stuff, so I just give you guys tips. But you absolutely don't need to take my word as gospel. You don't need to follow everything I say. If you want to colour your hair, then go ahead and colour your hair. I mean, I coloured my hair and it did damage it in the long run, but it's what I wanted to do at the time. And I think that once this colour is out of my hair, I'm probably not going to colour it for a really long time, or if I do, it's going to be like with henna or like with a tint or something like that. I'm going to be really, really reluctant to go close to bleach again. But it's completely up to you. You can do whatever you want to do. So Janina_E says, my parents always think I am weird because I am the only curly girl in my family. You know, the hair masks and scalp massages are irritating to them. Love ya. I love you too. Thanks. Yeah, the same pretty much. I was probably the first one in my family to go curly with my hair. My sister followed suit and she's like really happy with her curly hair now. And we share products and I share tips, you know, I give her tips all the time. So yeah, maybe you can convince some of the others to go natural as well. Oh, I'm gonna have a look at some more of these questions back here. So Shania Jack says, do you think the inversion method is effective? I do think that the inversion method is effective. I did it once before and, you know, I kind of didn't do it properly. I want to try it again because I actually trimmed my hair halfway through, like, me doing it. So I didn't see the full effect, but I'm pretty sure it worked. Even though I trimmed my hair, it felt like my hair had kind of grown back really quickly. And if you guys don't know what the inversion method is, it's kind of where you make yourself inverted. So, you know, maybe hanging off the bed or something like that, so that your head is lower than the rest of your body. And then the blood rushes to your scalp. And then you give yourself a massage, and you probably want to use some oils there as well. And that really stimulates your scalp and encourages your hair to grow. So I do think that that works. So I'm just having a look at some more of the questions right here. So I think that a lot of you guys are live that have asked these questions, so that's cool. We have been live for an hour, so I'm just gonna answer a few more questions and then we'll go, okay? So Yesna says, how do you make your hair if you go to sleep? How do you make your hair if you go to sleep to make them look good the next day? So I always put my hair into a bonnet. Lately I have scrapped the hair tie altogether. So what I used to do is I used to tie my hair into like a silk bonnet, like up here, and then I would put the bonnet on top. But I feel like just by being in a hair tie, it can kind of like stretch all of the hair back here. And I don't want my hair to be stretched, I want the curls to be intact. So I just kind of just bundle it into a bonnet, and I just leave it like that, and it works. Like, it means that my hair stays just stays curly, stays fresh looking, stays moisturized, especially if you get one that has got a satin lining or a silk lining. A silk lining is like a lot more luxurious and it's really gonna keep that moisture in your hair a lot better, but satin is a lot more affordable and vegan, I believe. So oh my gosh. Somebody says Shakespeare is dead. That's their name. And they say you really do resemble Moana. That's like the best thing ever. Thank you so much. Okay, right, so you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the live stream. Thank you guys so much for turning into the live stream. I've suddenly forgotten how to talk, so I think that is my cue to leave. I will try to go through this video, make sure that I leave all of those links down below that I mentioned before. If you guys are watching this after the live stream, then don't worry, I will do another one again. And if I didn't get to your question this time, then I will do another live stream again and I'll get to you, because this was really, really fun. I really enjoyed doing this for you guys. And I can't believe it's been an hour already. This is absolutely insane, especially if you guys have been watching for this entire hour. That's incredible. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting my channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.